Well, especially with the current trends in AI that we're seeing, we need to take this super defensive posture because it was already impossible to stay up to date with all the latest and greatest vulnerabilities and exploits that were available. Now the pace is rapid because the tool is really effective. AI is a really effective tool. It's really good at reading code. I mean, we're finding so much audited code that is in everywhere on the internet in secure places that is considered to be safe and relatively bug free. And the latest and greatest models, if poked in just the right way, uncover a whole lot of vulnerabilities. So the reactive stance was never a good one, and it just won't do anymore.
Yeah. I did a HackerOne bug report submission today, or I should say I started one. And the CVSS score wasn't high enough for them to admit it. And I thought, okay, what do I do? So I take my entire report in Markdown and I put it into Gemini and say, how can I optimize this? And it was unbelievable what it came back with and said, oh, that's a very clean script you gave as an example. But here's why you don't want to submit it as is. And it was just like, I'm just dumbfounded at what we're able to do today with AI when we have it properly wrangled, when it's within your own policy. And we have a very strict policy here about which tool we can use for which purpose, depending on the classification of the data that we're working on and so forth. So, Mitch, let's switch to something that you've done and built recently. Tell me about the funnest project you're good with telling the world about that you've done recently.
Well, I'd say one of the funner ones is a little bit not that exciting to most, but I think it gives a really, really solid upgrade to a very commonly used product. Security cameras, they're everywhere, and they really like to alert you when motion happens. And they create massive lists that everybody just ignores of motion events. So I've been working pretty hard at finding ways to get AI in on that system of looking through all of those detection events and categorizing them, classifying them, describing them, and then automatically determining if this is a real alert worthy notification should be sent out or not to the relevant people. Because in the past, and it kind of parallel with a reactive versus a proactive security stance. In the past, it's even with motion alerting, security systems have generally been reactive. After something happens, we'll go check the footage. We have the footage. But in many cases, they could be, with a little more intelligence, more of a proactive, and you can know as soon as something happens. But I found in many of my installations and customer installations that none of these NVRs were really doing a good job at parsing alert worthy events through lots of false positives, and inevitably they're ignored unless you're hiring somebody full time to watch the video streams. So now, with AI as good as it is, we can run all of this, and we are on our own local servers. We're not making any cloud calls whatsoever. Computer vision algorithms will take the first job of picking through the video feed, and if it detects something like a human or a car, then we'll put it down to the next stage of the pipeline. And once we have a positive alert for one of those detection events, then we'll look into it and see, what is this actually? Is this a car that we recognize? How sure are we of that? Can we see the license plate to get that really high confidence score, and then we don't have to alert about it? Or did we see this license plate and we definitely don't know about it, in which case it's might be a very alertable event, but maybe only during certain times of the day.